Use your side. Yeah, right. Use it for side.
It was Dak and Jack's night meet in its bustling streets of Ponyville, except not to such state of affairs as that just intimated, as Darkness and Jackson was keep ponies indoor, and Foff streets indoor, where hay were. Hay is main cows. Just look at that clouds, Fluttershy mused with hit of sadness, at see weather through window that caused displeasure in sapent creets for some yearson.
Yeah.
Sonored response of but one rarity out from corner of bedroom.
It is Jackson. So come from it, Fluttershy, and hug me.
They hug in love, strictly Palatnik, and mutual pain. I am still not Belle's rainbow dishes, darling God. Fluttershy moaned softly and with delicate voice, more so even than an ordinary course of affairs. Understand?
I know.
Reply by Rarity.
She was best friend like all others. A tragic stork. That is had cost us to lose her.
Fluttershy nodded, Frank explaining. I understand now, Fluttershy said, smelling with soulful heart fled high, but tear and never less sad. But, dost thou fairly lend credence to the mere verisimilitude uttered in raucous illness of consideration by unwashed races? Fluttershy asked, huskily asked, through rapidly trickling tears, and incapacities of voice box caused as direct consonants of intensifying kiring.
Not chance. There's no way that Pinkie Pie would ever perform such actions as those ascribed to her by those indigents.
Rarity tenderly moved hoof up the Fluttershy eye, and wiped tears away. But not so tender on Fort, as equine hoofs are extremely ill-equipped to do such things. Ah! My eye! Fluttershy squealed, wrenching back and putting own hoof to eye. At which point she squealed and wrenched back, before putting own hoof to her eye again. Repeated the process, continued several times until was backed up against wall and decided to stop putting own hoof up to eye, in recognition of cause and effect.
Sorry,
said Rarity hespeishly.
But just can't be that it's the truth. Lacerate Felsh and dissembled crops of Rainbow Dash. Not Pinkie Pie. It must have been the wind.
Reasoned. Thunder cocked and car boomed, and now also whistling, like must be the wind. Both ones leaped in suppers. My, it's loud. Let close the wind, said Fluttershy, as she walked over away from Rabbit for explicit purpose of closed window.
Wait, don't touch that!
Rarity lunged helplessly and threw out right hoof dramatically, and the camera abrupt moved to increasingly closer positions to window without continuous and or steady zoom, while Fluttershy reached for window frame with loud noise at each of said camera positions. In movie. She caused it. Sound stopped. No further music played, and not bad happened. Fluttershy turned to Rarity in confusion, on realizing unorthodox reaction she had just had. Rarity squint, and shook head.
Nothing.
She looked content.
I just had strangest feel. It saw face in window.
Face? On second floor? Of house yours?
Yes, strange. Face just staring with massive smile. Not else, but was not real, was imagined.
Well, now sound is stopped, and Rainbow Dishpan is dead for sufficient time to have end the grievance procedure. What now?
Now let us have fun.
And so preparations were making. But before two could have fun, Pacific Magic, Fluttershy, while untethering 50% discounted flat-screen radiator from bedpost, exclaimed, "Is that paper?" She was looking down to the bottom of the door. Rarity looked in response, and eyes wide and mouth open.
Why but
She walked over it.
I did not put paper on that section of floor.
Pick up. And what did say? It was saying,
Dear Rarity, hey! I know you will have fun times, but you did have to shut window on me. Sheesh! Can please come to generic moderate-sized shack in abandoned woods outside of town, and far from notice of authorities or any such others as might make attempt rescue you. Hang on. Give me a minute. Where did put the eraser? Well, can't find it. Whatever. Hey! Please come. Yes. Please come there. Lots of love. Secret admirer.
Fluttershy tisk-tisked and say, Should have been a pastors after all and lots of love. That is how grammar. Rarity said,
Wow, secret admirer? What mean?
Oh, some loves you, Rarity.
Rarity spat the letter out in disgust. She had started eating the letter.
Blech! I am engaged by other engagement.
Fluttershy touched up here, and lower and raised eyelids in quickness like stock girl.
Yes, but not me. Come on, let the both go together, because there is now established shed reason for both of to go and not just one.
Rarity,
No, isn't.
Hut up and let go.
thus did one's both Tarverse out of Rom and down to stairs, walked down the case while holding the banister for safety, oak banister which was white, and the stair down had red carpet with orange faint flowers made of cross-stitching. The thunder and light rain continuation. Fluttershy put on boots, and Rarity took coat from cheap hanger just in front of front door. They elfed and braved the element. A long way through town and approaching merry-go-round at several decimals of kilometer from exit, this reminded Fluttershy and said, Before we go, let's visit graveyard to upset grave rainbow dashes. Rarity could a gear less and not more at in so in pouring rain and fudner. Her grill stood in highert of graves, staring at Rainbow Dash Tosmsot. Grav said words on it. Rainbow Dash is dead.
Using why it says that on Gave. Is it 'cause Rainbow Dash was pwn flick and I am.
Fluttershy put hoof out in shudder of crying Rarity and said with notably, Yes, but although different bells, can still friends. On this, and while staring into grave that seemed to star back, Rarity at sudden bursts in tres and dive bomb clinging to dear one Cathart.
Thank you, Fluttershy, for my friend.
Fluttershy smiled at grass and head at sight of Rarity, and the torrential relish of Emshin formed Rarity caused Fluttershy to also accept Cathar's first laugh, and so start cry and soft say, Thank you, Rarity, for my friend. And relsing each other form cling, but still within shared personal space, seeing now tears gesha in both eyes, put fornt hoofs tugler while then added carrot pain crunchuring adapter, calls eyes, and look up to know Jax me Sykes and say,
Thank you, Rainbow Dash, for our friend.
Thank you, Rainbow Dash, for our friend.
Good day, my friends, my name is Donald, and I say that lends to why I've not dulled, since being called for a screaming duck is appalling to none but ones who are stuck. Confusing my lad of a name for something out of a children's card game. I'd claim to cement my fame, and it behooves me to rent out a few minutes to sing my first name further while accompanied by medieval music. Dun 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 dun.
Hours later, Random stumbled on place in abandoned woods that figured matched extremely vague description given to them. It was wide opening part with no trees in. Just the trees were all in surfacing. This is what called a glade. But it's storm and night, so no shine and nice. And over on other far half of glade, a cabin that it was asserted as vague desk match, pressed on creaky handle, and creak slow of oak wood aged and abandoned made. Walked in, close itself.
Did that just itself?
Fluttershy quietly tremulous asked her Fern. Fern looked behind, studied o'er, and hand did verily assert.
Yes.
They were in a creepy little corridor, the entranceway. It was just very narrow and 2-meter-high roof of woodsness, board planks like pirate ship on all side, darker brown on left and right than up and down. Fluttershy put down boots that had been established as wear, and as low Rarity furred coat on floor, so as of point now understand that both are naked, but 'tis not significant. Both barely enough room for squeezing heave bodies of two to side by side, and on other end of hall, just door. Went through door, which creaked flickers, and through it was junction going right and left, slightly wider than before. On left, opened out after 2 millimeters and .34 to wider room, while on right was in same place. For left I opened it out. But right wall did turn some more meters in, so room was like top left edge of Jighouse were puzzle. Girls walked further in, and slightly around right wall, but not so much that not still able to see how they came from behind. It was a room of filled bone chairs and streamers, skulls floor. Hang of that at selling on the ceiling was sign saying, "Life is a party." And the texting was red like blood is to be in medical sources. Rarity and Fluttershy scared and absolutely blinking terrified because good grief wouldn't you be. Ran for it behind, but who was now behind without either there or camera's notice up to this precise point? Pinkie Pie!
Girls! It is so lovely that you choose to stay! So stay a while!
Add them to forever! Pinkie Pie screeched and giggled, bubbly and lividious in matter frightfully unbecoming of the overall decor and atmosphere. Rarity gasped and sputtered, with rapidly increasing despondence and disappointment.
It is true, isn't it? Worse, you made it end with the good friend of both mine and Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash.
Giggling.
Yeah, it was so wonderful! We had very special time together, just two of us.
Lips icked and excited eyes, with unliving pruent twinge of upper thighs.
Oh, my friends, I love you all so much! I just have to do this with all of you! I am save you! Say much. And it's your numbers too, so double the fun! 2 times funness! A 200% increase in quotient of entertainment!
At which point Rarity abruptly cut her off with indescribable indignation and fury.
That is mathematically incorrect assertion!
And hefting hoof right back, smacked the giggling, furgerous face of Mad Clown Pinkie Pie with a resounding clap of thunderous thunder that timed conventionally to the actual thunder outside, as evidencing by the lightning visible through creepy crossbarred window in background. Movie. Fluttershy draws sharping breath. Rarity screamed,
You the kill kid, our friend!
Oh, oh.
And Pinkie Pie was sad at reaction.
Don't be, Asta. I have you here now to do the same again. It's not over.
And you really did use to make cupcakes for no adequately explained reason. Fluttershy weepingly say, shaking head as if pleading with Pinkie Pie that not the truth.
Yes, and again.
Get in chair. Pinkie Pie bubbling expression switched to indescribable cold intensity suddenly, in a way that snapped they had been jarred not to have seen up to now, and were now ironically jarred to actually be seeing now. Get in racks.
Never!
Rarity affirmed, and hold crying Fluttershy hoof. I'll destroy if don't! Fluttershy through wet eyes real nice comedy. But if we do, you're going to destroy us reluctless, right? Pinkie Pie aback at Fluttershy's astutency, but this did not for instant diminish expression of intense and evil evilness with solemn implacable mouth. Lapne Doctor compared to Great Wall of China, and Red Eye.
I have to order. She demands, and then for your own good. So now.
Who demand?
Rarity Feroz Ultimate.
Enough talk!
Pinkie Pie took control, using immense power. Pinkie Pie being point of threat and scare story, inexplicable more powerful than Olive Main's regards of whether makes sense. Struggled both of at same time somehow to their arcs, and fastened it strapped on, making absolute sure beyond all shad doubt that strapped firmly and secure.
Now fun begin!
Except fun did not, because written into Kronra here.
Oh! Forget the thing!
Left room for it. Psst. The shuddering and trepidating Fluttershy wisped to other.
She forget to fasten straps.
What ulk! Both could now leave the traps, and so avoid suffering gratuitously articulated physical torture. Read first, K-Fangs. I did not write that. I do not own rights. This is unoff CIA sequel like Ben Gunn and Terzerland. But so the growls made spedward to leave way came in, past skulls, and happy books in little wood-quaint bookcases, and bold-aired poster on wall saying, I don't care what any says, this is perfectly thing to doing. But abruptly they stopped on that last one, for Fluttershy was orphanted. The word says should have been plural without S rather than singular. Any impile collective of ones that say. And she pick up carrion made of Dargan figures, not aware, and rub out S.
Fluttershy, this is not appropriate time for such!
Scream Rarity, lost all thought for that Pinkie Pie would hear. Oh, please forgive, but Garimer is extremely impotent. What my H-school English teacher said. Cannot tolerate it not being applied as rules of language demand without explain. They went back to earning. Pinkie Pie emerged from other side of junction mentioned several parags ago. Hold the doll.
Wow! Leaving?
No. In left hoof was curious figurine, shaped like one. Clarification, that is pony. But a halo on Ed, and skull on legs, with lashings of stock Halloween-style candies on it elsewhere. Halo was made of paper-based stuff like what Cupcakes tend come in. Hate that! Who asked for those things? Pew! Spit out of mouth, or do not want.
What is?
Rarity asked, pointing at the thing. Pinkie Pie see.
Who else? Silly? The great good-ass Twinkleberry.
Get back in chairs.
No.
It's both said. Pinkie Pie stormed forward slowly, very slowly, but horrifying intimidatingly and powerfully. On each step, thunder sound externed loudly, as visible again through same window as Beth. Will make sense in movie. As if by magic, or but instincts, the two heroines and heroines stepped back with slightly faster than it pace. Get back in racks. They were pushed back to deeper in the room they had just tried leave, and to within meters of rack goddess.
I am not forget the time on this.
Evident the Pinkie Pie said, not anything to be feared of, Fredsnip, because you will become Cupcakes. That is why Fluttershy say in response to this, because she was not asked question.
I could agree less.
Which meant she not agreed, because that's how it goes. Okay, so now it looked like Pinkie Pie had disappeared, and heroes were safe, so high five and begin walk off the house. But then Pinkie Pie and Bergreichled from behind dark and scary thing that make feel fear in readers. /watchers, Millie. But I don't need to explain it, okay? Use imagination. Pinkie Pie say, She was just laugh and not speak in decidedly combobulated and rationally comprehensible Fasahan. Was uterus of Fluttershy, and so Rarity qualified instead, who was interlocutioner.
Pinkie Pie is not gone!
That is right. It's me. So who is one for all of to sky in the midst of life?
Cack killed.
You are C.
She repeat twice because dramatic to do such thing.
number is given by great goddess Twinkleberry, who am worshipped because as for to act of defiance of societal expectations and for various other reasons.
Nagelkt te menten before main mape will steadily become evident as of point now.
Yes. She because I bake Rainbow Dash, and Glider, and all of those with number or onwards sacrificing. I have nibbles me too because taste good. As girls. X-15 all guild herself because she did not have number.
There, structural integrity of canon preserved.
Goodness so much better than stupid grand goddess of Nuenpaon, who abandoned me and not exit.
Further again at that.
I am even wear yellow eyeliner.
Bad eye slid. Rarity's sake and displeased.
Why, Pinkie Pie, that is positively outrageous. This is completely unacceptable. Yellow eyeliner must not warn.
Pinkie Pie had fed up of not rep sect for Belf. And so it is because of Belf that she would mac bakes out of still scremming bodies of friend. It is makes sense. Fluttershy cast aside tears, figuratively as had learned lesson of trying to remove them by hoof, and made for bold defiance like an episode presumably made at some point where she performed such action for moral.
Well, you asked me I'd have done such things as were described articulately by you, but you would never attack us alive.
Movie option quick zooms in pink face.
Can be arranged!
The positivity of response did not concern, and she swiftly made for Rarity and grabbed neck, pressing and causing asphyxiatory reaction. Rarity gurgly gasping body flail worthlessly, and Pinkie Pie just intense stare into eyes in silence. Rarity fadingly re-op eyes to Agser, but for the nothing but abyss staring back. Fluttershy could do nothing but stand there and watch because she was girl. But thankfully, author of story personally appeared within course of narrative to advise her that girls can overcome gender stratification, which when Fluttershy asked what was meant, was explained that femmes should not be afraid to act in times of call for action, and not to listen to Hollywood plot devices. Fluttershy nodded head, and Arthur returned from whence they whence came hence tensed her face and obtained enough courage just before Pinkie Pie administered final blow of suffocating death. Grabbed Pinkie Pie from behind like character in Japanese Lazarus swords, where Radish Man was attempt to kill the sun, but Big Green was there to assist. Fluttershy hauled Pinkie Pie off of beloved friend, who then recovered breath and panted in trauma exhaust. Pinkie Pie struggled with arched back against Fluttershy, who, despite wise words of incredibly pretty, well-dressed, attractive off-row, was in fact weak girl incapable of accomplished such action as boy of average strength. Ferris Badal insurance to what Fluttershy tried to hold, causing gyrate and frantic swerving farshing at, clattering bonds and skulls on floor. At one point Pinkie Pie bashed Fluttershy back into wall, which she squealed, and knocked down posters saying, "Love is got others and mac vitals into pastry consumbles." But through this so far, Fluttershy man keep hodling the pink one under Oxters. Bell!
Who canned it, Fluttershy? Belve! Eyelap!
Was the Lapsy bear able to speak voice of Rarity? But need while one not occur anymore. Pinkie Pie first and Elg sent Fluttershy to Argy's the Alps, and knock books off shelves, which camera move on some to reveal titles are How I've Make Cupcakes, Ged, Proceedings of 75th Annual Intercontinental Symposium and Metzgelian Methods of Chartered Accountancy, to also Pinkie Pie first head back into Fluttershy's one, that is technic common ref to his butt. Not actual butt, for that was firm talents on Fluttershy College. In one such insta of butt, it set in Fluttershy head reeling into and cursed Cupcakes subsend by oversized meat butcher hook from Sieling, which a crumble like thing lacking structural integrity, which raining things unmentable. Many such hooks aren't room, but must too high for reach with head.
Those aren't hooks for failed cakes,
Pinkie Pie explained gruntingly.
Giving up, Fluttershy, you are frail and I have power. Come on, you all will have fun, but shoot her alive.
Fluttershy sword bit natter and weak will getting better of her, and in pain from Pinkie Pie's devastating balls. But smun courage and keep the slut. No, I must stop you. While it was valiant swordmate huddling at him, now Pinkie Pie almost breaking free from grasp. Only thing holding at point was Pinkie Pie limbs convulsing at sexual thrill from tight wrap of gasping Fluttershy bod, and raw feral intensity of citation. Because let's sell copies/tickets movie. Heaving flutter flanks, whatever those are, bracing desperately against the airtight leather as well as skin of Pink Eye for bent pie. Furl was feel, but it did not further than this, because to be quite blunt, that would just be completely ridiculous. And Fluttershy sensed the failings within Pinkie Pie, and was now losing muscle power herself owing to sickness at this revelation, which is make bad citation baddest. Fluttershy barely get voice between exhausted gasps. Is this why you rainbow dash, Pinkie? I am sense plus. Pinkie Pie in shock and legs give further. What a talk! I am for Sav Soul! It has happened to Coin Dance that also Searchwell's Origin is as well, so... And then she resumed sharp kicks. Pinkie Pie Sockwell in crackling voice. Do not looking at back of head like that! I did not indulge any such inapproptness and victs. Only cut and made into cupcakes, nothing more than. Pinkie grunt exclaim. Almost breaking free. I am for of this nut, because to David McDavidson I will kill!
No! We are!
Shout Rarity inevitably, just as Pinkie Pie kicks and butts were pushing Fluttershy to limit of weak female capability. Fluttershy. Oh, Pinkie Pie. Please stop and go home. I can forgive her. Because Fluttershy is unconned love for all, and it hurts her, but also for even the cereal cupcake Claire's, and modestly also add Rolf Jamesler, if there was equivalent of notoriously generally disliked figure. Although did decline alcohol like all despotic mass slaughter tyrants. In Ponyland, who knows? Pinkie Pie fighting own lilting of furries at soft, though panting grievously, fios of good old fearnd, sudden visions enter mind of happy TMs with fearns, when still sane and not thinking mechgy into cakes was advisable course of action. And Princesilp of sufficient earson for first time since Bergdown made tiniest inlay back into bairn. She is Wartor start kiring. Oh, Fluttershy, what have done?
Eat death!
What are you out now?
Pinkie said, unrealized that Rarity had made use of time to charge special tack over course of last 5 episodes.
No! Even me can't withstand it!
Pinkie Pie explained for audience benefit.
Yes, can!
Came Rarity incisive reply. Except Fluttershy said, Rarity, hang on. Give me 1 second, Pinkie Pie. Rarity, what you just said was a less than appropriate retort to the statement to which it was a robot. Blast! The beam fired, and Pinkie Pie stare in horror. But it wasn't moving, because need more time, because more episodes necessary. After Rarity epiphany, Pinkie Pie snapped back to Insan.
Twinkleberry! I am follow of your... Stick down in Fivels!
But in Fivels not stuck down or going west. Stuck down for secret harsh real not known of Pinkie Pie. Was Twinkleberry actually not exist? And on reaching such qued conclusion of consequence of tremendously hubristic and presumptuous of Will Devon, prayer not answer, completely lost mind, as if hadn't already, and shout, If can't have goodness, then none has! Pinkie Pie compelled Bork out of Fluttershy weakened graps, and branching a knife from the cleft of her literary slit in Domnetic suit she had been wear the whole time, as well as in the original story should go without say, despite that not own rights, movie, branching a knife, too late, to the ball thinly fired off. Animators return from Striak, and boom! Except that single-handed In one feel swoop was the convey what I am trying to express artfully. Energy Ball was stock still, not gone yet. Pinkie Pie was not gone also, and as inevitable dust cloud clear, reveal hoof in front of Pinkie Pie tensed face, holding ball that is not hoof from any of ponies that have been previously established as being in room, but none than physical manifest of Twinkleberry. Offer was lie. Twinkleberry did exist. Pinkie Pie instant shout eyes and ecstatic. Yes! 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 Twinkleberry! I know it was exist! I did lying to trick them and imply the contrary! But hoof then arch over from aforementioned position, still clutching Death Ball, straight at Pinkie Pie face! But... Bercuse, Twinkleberry say with fire in ears, have failed them. Pinkie Pie blasted by generic energy ball, sent flying to far corner of Rickett Wood cabin that was not described Rickett nature of previously, and thereupon dead. Lat's thing that see forms straining eyes up at Vinat Hedgerower Spralwed. Was post or Fluttershy had corked it perviously, and Pinkie Pie the same yet even more, for she could not English, and had chilled torma of English t-shirt macking mockery in front of class for. So not nice gong, Fluttershy. Pinkie Pie! Fluttershy howl, and being only one seen Pinkie Pie had started to come to sense before Rarity Miss Godeldy's shout eat death. Artend now. Twinkleberry menacing walked towards Herosnes, who in last 4 seconds had gathered near to junction. Turn yours. Twinkleberry was incredibly beautiful, and long flow green hair. Middlingly light green. Dark brown body with lashings of red stripes on back half, but not on legs! Understand? Or is the Carolal? Fluttershy remark, your existence in direct contravention of teaching's grand... Sparing physics! Snap goodness. Fellish morts that fought Belf in grand goodness, but little know that I am only... Yes, Twinkleberry decided and take advantage of lit Pinkie Pie who in existential crisis on account of generic teenage angst for rebel against unconventional and socially respectable bell systems, which is why Pinkie Pie made numbered ones in Cupcakes that provided as sacrifices to Twinkleberry. In the altar there in hut that mentioned previously, it was actually the third bone chair from right, do not own rights! Bone chair on right mentioned in original story, so see this all planned in advance, despite that do not own rights, but confident this intention of a ridge offer. Yes, as was saying. This Felshout story does get joke Felsist thematically appropriate. As was saying, would kindly stop interrupting narrator. Oh, sorry. So power of cakes resurrect. I mean body, this is form the things I use. Do the Cupcake energy power. Me pound symbol.
I can't open the door this week.
Are the names
What's
the
important?
same? Tuesdays make you feel that this genre was lame. Here's how these fools to this
I picked up the chair.
If Firm is such a normal name, you must approach with poise, or must
I
the
will
burden
use
you
the
to
chair.
give to Delavoy?
I need more support.
How could anyone unless the box in the library would you not think to use the monkey keyboard? Everybody knows that it is simple to custom power that the one interested Crips and Beatles. Well, of course, he has to say
I need something to use it with.
it is your own fault if you're excited to take that question. What is wrong with people that see these okay to speak too hard? Using circle windows is something you do. Try thinking backwards was an
I
obvious
combine these.
Hang around too long and you will say taboo. There's no feedback
Now
log But if it's due, you might think it makes sense to pick up those lanterns. They're just the background, you can blame the interns. Help you see that cheese, not to mention the owl. The escape please, if you picked up that towel and just had a fool at floss. The game conquered the end, it only runs on DOS.
Energy transference mechanism to perform as desired, since can do our thing.
I am not have time to explain all of plot holes. Take.
She raised hand again.
Blast beyond!
Two horrors look scare and shout, then dart off in opposite directions while beam fire at camera
And hit it, which makes screen white. In movie option, it's inevitable.
Girls run and say, Offer was wrong. We just girls after and can't. But at moment, who burst into stairwell?
The at point here had ran down right Harlot Junction if faced from perspective established earlier upon entry to cabin and had gone through door past unmentionable sloshes and thing and now are going up the long stairs to attic.
For bust hole in flimsy wood wall, but Rainbow Dash!
Rainbow Dash!
Are dead! Don't give up hope, F-Grills. While there's valid observation that females of species are statistically weaker of frame in conventional measure of general strength, it is not of consequence compared to heart. Power of spirit girls can overcome statistics! Raised an all-joined hoof in air at center of triangle with which bodies now form despite being on stairs. All of one and one for one!
Meanwhile, Twinkleberry, who had for some years and being delayed in reach girls to allow Rainbow Dash to make speech, because good reasons, swept from torch chamber to bottom of stairs, stair upstairs, and then...
Lie! All of my life looked down on by goots, because I'm girl. Better as direct consequence of this, and knowing this not power, actually self-hate villain. Warged!
Straight out of motto Rainbow Dash.
Because I am alive again, which is proof that female capable of enacting miraculous act for sake of climactic finale.
File me this! Etta NY this!
Heartbork goddess fire greatest pink spirit death beam! Which then Rainbow Dash took Corparians in arms and say, Now, it's time to pour once and for all power of laddies!
Fluttershy shy, but say,
Yes, I can do!
And Rarity say,
I am built.
An Untration, Compridney ghost pose, and by amazing dazzling light blue convex spirit barrier in front of them, out of center of which balls start glow and event fire off. Duel of generic separate balls begin, S. Unforth this cliche,
There are girls step to right side, and separate ball last 2 centimeters on right gets stared to Twinkleberry, who instant
since had not counted as a revsy, so she called desperate measures, and as so what hit mayhap is whole house vanish, and where? None other than Grand Fountain in center of town. But not just that, because the fountain was not in town, but all around fountain is bizarre void of frightful, planar, and perspectively untenable bulletings, of indescribable garish color omnibnats and such like. MC Escher was the man that drawed things that are comparison. In fountain were all the ponies, and wet and dripping derping bodies, and at once set to fight. Except that when Rainbow Dash lunge at NM, limbs fail, and fly off at angles not desired.
Ha! Laws of physics not in application in such realm as this.
Sonnet Twinkleberry. This problem was resolved. But in any, again for sake of movie adaptation, Mudu splurge out of fountain from eructation sink and bottom, and olive competence flailing and rive groan while wrestling with each other. Agporin make over-exaggerated manas while so doing. Medu is salivated over. and Ob's for seeing visions, which rested in free all for of lesring holds not being barred even friends to friends without knowing. Fluttershy unwittingly plaque Rainbow Dash into figure 4 leg lolk, and Rainbow Dash scream. At which point Fluttershy reals that person inflicting pain on was not Twinkleberry, but in fact Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy had become wrestling expert after performing Carrot Man Hold and Pinkie Pie earlier. So nice guy, Fluttershy. Irony is, had turned girls strang on one who said girls can. Not an offer, as offer would have demolished Fluttershy and any who challenged to Restel. Inkle boys, bring on! Rainbow, I'm sorry. I thought it was Twinkleberry. Yeah, but man, I am melted. I am thought I was supposed to be Tog 1. I scram like girl at figure 4 leg lock into which placed.
Oh, my...
Fluttershy cupped hoofs to mouth like Undelo Nado. Why always do that? Who does in real life? But then spat out mud that got into mouth due to this as hoofs cupped with mud. Fluttershy tuned to Rarity, who was perfuming bear shug and sent to her Kalmina of Fontaine of no Woodford that is called. Rainbow Dash to regain stert cred, and Cobsure snarked. Oh, will not have achieved effect on account of fact that Fountain is not sentient being capable of expressing pain from tight and muscle-debilitating rapid application of inward pressure from hugs. Unfortunately for Rainbow Dash, 3/4 through sentence, Fluttershy had already pulled Rarity off pillar and gone start for Twinkleberry while she was distracted filing her nails, so Rainbow Dash joined. If Canton, join! So then Rainbow Dash said, Rarity, that was Coleman and not Twinkleberry! Rarity instantly understood, and came to senses now. All gun for Twinkleberry, who shows that girls overcame absence of physical laws by which to perform such action, as well as mud obscuring eyes. But they did! And she has head perfrusting mud, and they say, Eating mud, witch! And she say, Never morts! She is Goodess, therefore talk while mouth preoccupied with mud. Goodess again used power to make them another place. An instant were again by power Twinkleberry cast to bustling streets like the scurb at start of story, but not Nido Jackson, and instead dozens of content Ned Poins flighting 2 equals and fro. But on cries, Help, morons! Help, morons! No answer, even though Fluttershy had not said morons, for the ones around were ghostly Arpatians, so would not politely respond to Pony's discourteous requirements. Allergy and inmating physique of Twinkleberry, of repaired girls in this environ, turning to side and side-hopping stared into all fear at once, while they still calling out for help, and crash like ton weight on them, pin all to ground. Arnie last words, Twinkleberry arrogantly prod after cackling. No, you are, screamed Rarity in defense, who began reciting Metzgalian chartered accountancy methods that had started reading during tack charge earlier since barred. No! Stop! Chartered accountancy is unbrabable! Twinkleberry huffed self up and crazedly clenching hands to sidehead like bear going to explode. But she used Goodess power again to figna all different land pull again. Tinky Winky is not egg. Contra poplar rect conry parents. Now we're back in nightmare version of outside of Old Forest House, where mad story took place. On Gronard was born object. But before Rainbow Dash could get the move the ship get look closer, Twinkleberry was firing ball of laser at her. Rainbow Dash, look out! Fluttershy and Rarity both heroically throw selves at Rainbow Dash to take blast in place. But unfort, both are on opposite sides of Rainbow Dash, and so net effect is both hit the girl and nobody actually moves anyway. But when Rainbow Dash bent neck down to see friends on grass, Ball missed her head at which aimed. Cross! Twinkleberry invect. Are you just a cock of fish? Then I tack to place where I am control. Twinkleberry sent them once more again sleels where. This time I'll stand on dark cloud with blackness all surround. No, the cloud is white. Huh? What? What? Huh? What? The girls asked and looked around in bewilderment. Fnir was carking uncollared. Jaxism was infamous. Fluttershy and Rarity shrieked.
You were Mick Jackson all along!
Yes, absent, Twinkleberry said to Coniferum Coniferum. It has just what I needed to stop any finding cabin and save you.
But Ustless servant was gone to fall to you, and so then was the time to destroyed.
Fluttershy said. Okay, guys, if she is goddess, how can you stop her? Twilight Sparkle, who had joined earlier off screen, chimed in that is correct. According to science, we cannot defeat goddesses. Girls disamiad. But Twilight furrowed a brow, whatever on earth that means, and say, science not an application in alternate dimensional realm, are we? Goddess gasped, but Anne laughed.
I try, but is more to life than science.
Twilight stamped her at this insurmountable refutation of everything she had ever stood for at any point throughout long and storied academic career. One white clod all of Herald's studning together. Adderud and Twinkleberry was 11.4855 meters away. A cloud wasn't epsilally wide, but long. I say not epsilally wide, but was at least 10 mets wide, about 30 mets long. Twinkleberry was tackling with,
I am Tink.
No, your name is Twink. Twilight scienced.
Be silenced! That was a spelling mistake of Ryder who meant to say Fink.
See, I can self-aware.
I told you to shut up!
Oh.
Now, yes, I am Fink. You foolish morts are needing lessons in how it starts.
How it start? Query came from the mouths of them whole of assembled puzzle. With their confused, no word was stated in order to assuage, but instead evil big-eyed Twinkleberry, whose flowing hair illicitly gushed down like waterfall, even though it didn't move. There are simply no words to describe, which unfortunate since this is all words. She looked downwards invitingly, and others looked down, and saw, below cloud standing, images far below in darkness. A big vitsa like through windows, of happy building was there. It was interior pink house, with luscious carpets and cake and banners on walls. On selling was sign that life is a party. And it was then hit them. What was who to have made such scene? For a voice echoing all around all now, that was meant to be person in room dispalied, that is out with perspicate for shown. Life is a party. Every day I make parties in front of banner, cakes on table. Figure appeared in room, and tweezed the banners, and prodded cake on table. Not eat. She walked around in moped, no mope. But, and I have never asked before. Why? Figure turned to camera. Abjacatacan, guess who it was? All of ones on cloud will look on in burning wonder and wistful concern. What is point? Is this all it live is? A party? It is not point! It is not point! The pink, ghostly pink, wavering image slumped to Lossos carpet with green and blue checker marks, salute to perviously, though not fully decided at that point, and broke down. What am I left for? Voice act became particularly bad in movie on that line that will happen, and there was no answering. No comfort came to sobbing girl, but then Twinkleberry clicked hoof, and suddenly the image changed like slideshow, with old-fashioned projector click noise from 1920s. Now it was streets of town, and sad, barely moving figure of pinkiness walking through bustling unhappies. All of directions she languorously tuned to was smiling and pleasant. Why are pleasant? Why are any of us pleased? It is well for up to all crumble, and even if I would not, this is still not mean. It's still not mean. It's still not mean. Pink started to run, and finally fled of all Pearsons there, and away from town. The clicks come again. She ran to the fountain in center of town and stared in. And stared back was face. Pink face. Like a abyss! And Pink Girl say soft, "This me. There is nothing there." Like fountain. Pouring parties like water seems fun forever as over and over. Agony. And with no meaning bends. Look like stable than acto there. Parted waters with her, and vision of her face shook and dissolved. Illusion. And then woke up. Goodness. She ran off, tears pouring like Fatancephal which had earth-cushions stringed back like abyss. Click. In the heart of forest, in bright and lovingly glade of sun and lighter green grass with pretentious flowers, Pink One walked in center and collapsed. "Pills! Someone! Something! Anything! Anything!" Sob and beyond sob, but utter breaking down of all conquerable and inconquerable barriers of wailing emotion and despair, an absolutely unfettered forlorn scream into abyss that is staring back as abyss does, for no adequately explained reason, as claimed by pretentious German. A thud heard by all on the cloud, and two by the Pink One from vision not on the cloud. Pink Girl looked down the grass, and saw what was not before there. A books. Brown archic cover and old it. Leather binds and the pages. It's like a really old and impotent book. But it was the cover saw first. Book of Twinkleberry. Read book. Eyes start glazing, and the cloud watchers too glazed, squint to try see what words in were. They just catching glimpses though. Submit to me. Unto my graven image my acolytes submit the pastries. That which you are still alive following is direct cause of you incurst Sternhitte. Ones who try and stop you are monsters, and you must destroy them while also not being one. Te numbers shall be allotted a point time unto index to Book of Twinkleberry. Strange things. Whatever the whole was, the parts they could see was very strange and troubling. But not for the pink thing, who was already bouncing in joy after turn to last page. It was what caught them. The last page, camera linged on for time. And in the final hour, when the end cakes are baked, and ye are presented ought no mine image at altar in the manner that is meet and also meet, then shall the souls of thus taken be ushered into paradise.
Whee! 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 Whee!
Pinkie Pie said in the vision, yes, it was her all along! And before her, in the grass glade that had empty before, a mysterious carbon. The same carbon!
How simple that is something I can doing with means! Save thousands of pads! Oh, they will be so happy! That would be most special experiences! Then when I bring each the rag, we'll have to make sure are awake and full cognizance of all that happened! The light will ensure as they are mangled beyond rection! Oh! And why not make surprise? I won't tell them what I'm doing, and then surprise when dead and it means something in pads! Yay! Start my way!
And the figure ran into the cabin. Hera's heads were starting click like as unto cogs and old-fashioned analog clock like on Star Trek. Though have heard this was not kept in remake modern movie, so far as concerned, move is not canon!
Yay! My friends, I come for you!
Just like she ever used to when happy. Rarity said,
How of it to come back to life in midst of life, Rainbow Dash?
Rainbow Dash, I a world where's I'll rather not be talk about that. But sitches on Bedoy macrid poor pretty of Pinkie Pie bertade turf, except at same time expelled absolute nothing.
That's why she been so happy last months,
Applejack said, who likewise had been with them since off-screen point. Other ponies were cringing at what had revealed to them of dear friends descent into matters. And now, Twinkleberry grinning at them mouselessly and evil happy. You seeing what it was? I bork friendship and love torn from your precious friend. Just like all meaningless love and friendship nosness birk down in face of me. See? She weak, and her love distorted by me. Go to Garves knowing it by application of memory committance. For as short as is...
Wait.
Rarity said as Twinkleberry turned off the projector that was not actually such thing but play-along language. Then
all this time, even though she had fall to these horrid belfs, she was doing it because of love for us, to send for paradise. What a talk!
Disgurtertled Goddess Aska.
That was fool lie to make her bake ones.
Fluttershy content for Rarity, since both had wisdom to see significance of cryptic words said to them by Pinkie Pie that day, Tatton now staring like abyss to max sense. Even in darkest hour, and mind obliterated to such point as susceptible to incising screaming poems, adding Gerfin at least, add, Pinkie Pie still love her ferns, in spitter their afferent bells, and in spitter obsessed due to mind lose with cutting and upgrading entities, and making atrocious puns on Ogren names. That love was not change. Others nodded. Rarity.
Yes, that is it. I am finally understand. Hyphen colon hyphen ellipsis hyphen colon. Just as Rainbow Dash is Poneflick, and I am Poneman, so too Pinkie Pie Plofstick Erkenstork of some derption. Derfens does not matter. We are all friends! And bruning her as all still love not the bad guy!
Fluttershy said, Only villain is you! Pointing at Twinkleberry. Twist her bells and love to you foul ends! The goddess laughed snark snippily, with no insect remorse. Oh, how's cut? Delude yourselves if want. It has end for you either ways. I was wont just to give taste like with bakes of what awaits. The end cakes are upon indeed. And Twinkleberry lick goddess point lips with sporked tongue, and deep yellow cross-sectioned also magenta eyes flicker. Not trademarker. Figured it you out 10. All of those cases of peasants vanish, and add parts idented in backed products over centuries that ne'er mentioned in story. Yes, me! Wretches that you are! So many ponies lose, fat and live and belfs. And thus I am dar poor off angst to martelize book, which idiots read and belve. Pinkie Pie is just the latest, but has also served best out of all ever, and was so close to completing objective. But Rarity was have none of this.
What objective?
What I think! She snickled to come back. Just 5 more cacks required. And what coin dance? For what are seeing before me? Well, 6. Spike had joined off screen. But yes, numbers next. Final numbers I had give to Pinkie Pie were all yours. Have figured out at last. You are the end cakes.
My dear fellow Americans, there is something you should know, and so about it I will sing in what the coming verse is thinking. I'm the best bottlesman in the land. Nobody's better, far be it from me to self-agrand, but despite that I will not fetter my relaying of my skill. At thrusting bottles, view the demonstration, please until I buy more yoddles. I'm a postal bottle merchant, you need then search into my claims to Joe. eat the dose. I have got the most bottles in the U.S. I guess I've impressed you, so you raise no questions. Last night goes, my sister Kyoto's halfway up a post. I bought some which to boast. Oh, hang on, what just happened to the stapler? I need that thing to bind paper, putting aside bottles for a mo. I'm in a pickle, I have got to finalize some bills. Congress is fickle, say can you guys advise me on where it could be? Come on now, there is no need to tease. I would appreciate it if you said and put this to bed. I had a teeny change to make to my nation's grapefruit laws, since they are causing people to turn into zombies for no adequately explained reason. Freezing reason doesn't know. Tis the season. Well, if you won't have, then I'll just have to find it myself. And that's the end of the song. Thank you.
After commercial breaker, Twinkleberry resumed.
Oh wait, movie does not have rats!
To end cakes are you! After I finish what she start and devour you 5 ponies, I shall Posy's power to conquer all one verse!
Twinkleberry, the cry are like echoes of past Alendor and Man Rutter.
You are too thankful you should be. I was giving your friend who had lost porpoise a reason for live. Although fake meaning like all meanings, but trash ned tathens and assign meaningless meanings for non-deities is what I do. Be accused I am good as
And so Applejack exulted.
Such profound yee-haw point! But gee willikers, you plum-headed tarnation better say doggone your power years because something you did not count on!
Dare you! I am affist!
Shout Goodess with flower of nostrils. And Applejack ignored flagrant and immediately empirically demonstrable nonsensicality of Goodess's exhortation and say
power years because contravention! You've forgotten one thing!
Applejack whipped out from back. Cupcake!
You powered by bad and scary power of cupcakes made from unregulated food sources. But we all of life, when Pinkie Pie was still good girl, eating cupcakes and loving. Years of earnest love went into old cupcakes. All of us filled to brim with Billy's love. The power of love and not hatred therefore win. Love from the real Pinkie Pie.
Twilight perked up and knew. Yes, it is all truth, and we cans win. Because I belve that not just old cakes, but even cupcakes made sauerkraut to you, Twinkleberry, were mad with love. Love not for just fuo yo for fuo, but for friends. Rainbow Dash heroically made highly literatigically adept comment, as one for suffer unfathomly at Torsets in the last story. 18 plus for bronze and parnets to 5-year girls only. I do not own rights.
I have learned much.
So learned that you warged! Like a movie, you know. No, not new for this. Bald man shouted table movie.
You are rich. The end cakes are in need in us. Bex, the end cakes are all of cakes ever consummated by all of us standing here. Mad by her out of love for us. Evna yours. Evna... Yeah, alright. Evna one made of me. And end cakes are not end of world, but end of you! Pinkie Pie want to serve us, just like fried rice Wilhelm was tiring to serve hum ras, due to persevered lack of meaning, so he exact same as Pinkie Pie, and therefore knowing this, eat cakes! Just because you think does not mean.
Sag whizzed form rest-stitched Rainbow Dash. Rest-stitched form columns of body parts taken by Pinkie Pie after dissection. Of course, canon still missing small bits eaten and spat out by Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash respectively in Auric because canon. I do not own rights! Twilight later the down smash. And so in name of all cupcakes she ever backed, for the real Pinkie Pie shone through all of! Rarity said,
Their Pinkie Pie actually follow good as evil outlove us to asva and so act on own valor istem for sack of indescribly pretentious climax. But unfort, sometime own val stand leads to rip skin off persons to make bakes and so trap fall into. Because more to life than sleth perspects, when spirit of Antinhisland draws on forged laws and leads to gut ones for cakes, then problems.
Fluttershy completely understood everything that was just said by Rarity and others, and burst the rolling argument that was quickly frothing like crashing tilde wave, comma hyphen.
Everyone feel to have fallen, or is it the bagel feel to have not means and exists at some point? But there is froze glowing inside all of Sutu, and none what depsere, or unrack having fashion scarf made form quite long part of self, or anywhere else. This whole year was love.
An interruption of epic speeches came for some now, as Rarity had Sherlock Losmes deducted the answer to a question. Rarity said,
So that is it! Ashes to ashes and dust as you must have been called for body remain before she mac cake, Rainbow Dash?
Calls, but not Rygar. Tone is different, as well as Gant Snail spent 10 years living on. Fluttershy seized the corpse to ask also to her friends, Twilight, Applejack, and Spike.
I had not asked before, but I am now curious. How did it get here?
Twilight elevated her curiosity. We were told to come here by woman with hair that is becoming on police officer form town that is popular tourist destiny out of Zob maze, and enter priestess named after a rain coverers. We ran here like Yagix the bear run after Pinnikindkly barked glitz, and mid-aged woman on keep fit HSV tape. Not doggone phone sai matched Treviak. Piers Palgman would end tobning this name for you, if you are Arnett Palging Fields. Nobody said this. Twilight, Semite lost sense and worrip you, oh bad goodess. But I am Belv, in midst of such as this, still share was hold unto love of fairns, and all ones to make into cupcakes and save souls, as mandated by you of toasted Ilshin. Take breathe and struck. All of life Pinkie Pie lived for to have parties. And why? For to make other people be happy. Joy for others. So when lose sight of meaning to parties, was not just lose meaning of own life, feel that all of others meaningless, which have caused most pain of all. Teresno she joy at Book Twinkleberry was called give the meaning to others! But just like Banner saying, life is a parite, that is constru and femtic element to enter a narrative of both original and destroy, which Pink transferred it from own home up into Fahora Wood House as remter of value of what doing, so too is life is a party. Better follow you, she is look at peepin' Ottoon, too, and think why you're happy. Well, because life is party you are always invite to. You just not have to accept invitation. Pink discovered fear of that happy feelings and belts with delusions, as into man that stands supported by wall post or an empty gardener bench at party, that sees utters and sours, saying, you are in sauna and ufri, sigint nothing. All looks meanless from utsud luxing in, but if she such accept invite and walk in, then find truth. Pinkie Pie, my dear friend, and look up Twilight to dark void. Look through abyss like at Reflection and Fountain, and half fat that's beyond pale, turf is string back. Yes, life is a party, and Brady was meaning all along. Torching speech. Twinkleberry was clapping slowly and smiking with Evle. But meant nothing to me. Then this mean? Applejack jutted leg that was still holding Cupcake, outstretched as refer Twinkleberry's Athenians to it. The veil good as ul confers. What good? It is in your hoof a cupcake. They it right. This is not any cupcake. This is the one made of Rainbow Dash. All of girls gasp. Spike too cool for gasp, just like Sam's Exode Forever XXXX 2060. I'm found in Torch Chamber and keep on weighing her off screen. When I was with Spike and Twilight Sparkle, got guided to Wood Cabin by Arthur who warned his friends were in danger. This is most recent cupcake made, and following law of thermodynamics means most ripe for charge. All of girls knew exactly what to do, ran forward and formed ring a rosy circle around her. No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. It's just urban legend, Black Plague. Then all realized that was Morgan thing to do, and instead ran back to go original position and huddled around each other. Fool. What rev planing? It's percent no alvave. I are banished to this dark diamond with White Cloud for years, and here I much profitable. And now as Pinkie Pie is otherwise occupied, I will back the end cake's self with Twinkleberry Cupcake Beam. Yous are all now to be in cupcakes forever! Until consummated by me, which will happen directly after, and then world enslaved! And Twinkleberry bragged to battery and source-laying force within cupcake cut mark that on chest where Hound Girl would have things of alterant nature. Twilight Say as leader is terse sad of the occurrings to friend Pinkie Pie. You are responsible for her corrupt, but true is, in World of Ponies, there are many diff ones that belve different things. And so do not judge Pinkie Pie for attempt skin fish from buds and produce bakes from, because one thing I'll share, our friends! Fluttershy, yes, I forgive Pinkie Pie. And also sexual origin is thin with me, although personally I was uncomfortable with your feral of me as alluded to in subtle fashion earlier. Rarity said,
That is, we Sith love you.
Applejack say,
Geez, gosh, Holly Sugar, love the parties.
Rainbow Dash huffed, Well, I didst not by all due accords enjoy the experience that was visited in no uncertain terms on me in the original story. Please buy. For support actual offer, I do not own rights. But yeah, I am floored by power of reasoning and also by welling in boredom of heart that's sighing to me, love your friends and buy their right by side, no matter what. She was right there by my side whole time while carving massive chunks into blue and rending appendages. And so yes, everything about this sequence making sense. Pinkie Pie are justly at sex who will think that horrific actions were necessary, or else bad things are world to be of. And it this self-stabment is harness harm. All, each one of cars, place part of hoof on the cupcakes from Applejack. Added a cow in case of Spike. With Twilight, Retive Lad Macnide Baratan Cupcake from Applejack, holding with both hooves, and in middle of Gorp because main Cara, although technically not in this store, but looks shut. Cack point at Twinkleberry. Twinkleberry, no! Implausible! Power of love and friendship is survived even in face of murderous psychosis? Spike, responsibility as friends to fight for friendship and never give up on each other, even from most tiring circumstances, and change to personality and diabolical actions. Don't strike your response lips. That is what Pinkie Pie would say. Rainbow Dash agreed. Yes, she said same to me when I suggested to pack it in with unspeakable goodless torture. Twilight say, you messed with Pinkie Pie, and ex-nexion by with Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Fluttershy. And when you mess one, you all mess. Qued! Therefore,
Hey, you go there, Lavo!
Oh, sorry, Kibbley. Twilight said next setness after this. And we all here now, so that! And Cupcake Bem strat on sheesh Almatur Rainbow Beam out. And a Twinkleberry! But put an end to this parson play and demonstrate what cannot overcome demagogues! The Twinkleberry explodes beam right back out of Cupcake Mark, which is following strictly green like waterfall effects of hair. and beams battle each for will. Yeah, Klitsch, but some oddles are based. And Twinkleberry Bam getting closer! Quick, try like last time! Rainbow Dash holler to advise proper procedure would be to attempt sidestep again. And Radiant Fluttershy and Profudney say,
No!
no! All of others don't get, are not aware, can just move to side to sub-revved torp.
If ye do that, then what are saying is fat for Ernst Hards cannot best pour fried rice Wilhelm yes. Yeah. It can tempt to vocal fat and face skull of abyss, which stares macaque without relent and says, you and Valis are not mean. Have to do this. This is for principle eternal. That unionic, targinal fat and love does not need to hide from abyss and of conscience absurd. Thereof good cupcake power will unmitigably and indubitably will defeat bad cupcake power in full frontal crobflation, incontrivably for all retinal recurrence and without Turks of kids! Like Pinkie Pie will say to not strict stress plebs. And besides, could not coordinate Simultaneous the sidestep of 6 of us.
Rainbow Consteed, alright. But if all us were here, but need more power, Pinkie Pie is not here! It was 6 needed to add monsters sufficient power, and Spike is completely useless.
Hey, where's Netriarch?
Sorry, Spike. But as Beam getting closer, the fat of grills seemed to be slowing accretion. But was out of time? And then as if called not roast, fried rice Wilhelm the match rise and Kalp of Fudner! Upwards form cloud below, and say,
Have even read my books, you idiots!
And put Haddon on Twinkleberry cut mark eternary point of her beam, expanding it apostrophe's power.
Hey, cheating! You a reload rider and not have place here!
Wilhelm Wistler, and then also surrounded by existless philosphers, and utter such figures as pertinent to theme of story. Reader can selk the bast on personal belfstem. Unless there is Niesti, in which case, Niesti actually Tom Kindness in disguise from Downland too. Things looking gurm. What can save now? Wait! I am hodling Kebrode! That is it! And at that, for one's last time in the events, offer of Stroy, with low on SJF Kendi hair like Les form Baron Scarch. Hair injected appeared with girls there right by their side and did say verily, I am Wasaliak Pinkie Pie. No, I was not carving out humans into cupcakes, don't call cops! At a loss fat in wired stores. Because people are from make fun of me because of grammar is defy human convention. And I am not know how to coin stuck sentences. I was think I ruthless because of aphid cyberbullying and a high skull Engels teach make to Bakari in Fort of Cals and say never amit to anything, Starbun child. But poorer of stories is in all us. No matter how bad at Gramsers, the dread lack of familiarity with idealized Western literature, Professor This Is How You Word Stories, Lerchter's middle-aged men galses who probably wear beret, do not let any tell you it is bad the wirting satires. Everyone out there, because the soul of you sins through like balsam flower in what you write, and you are awesome just as are! Olive Pons and Spike cheered and knew that she had summed up the fame of story bets of all. Now I'll get cameo physic appear in movie. Yes! Meet Farm Anks! Plays Pinkie Pie. And marry! Or won't, but Aldi have sweetheart, who they do not know yet, cause have not connected. Don't let age-school Ellingish teacher beat up down and make feel bad, or for character created is Marsu and things like this one say no, it's the Wargna and so don't. Well, Wardler is free, and express yourself as you want, irregardless of wide sakti expects out of terrible loyalty to cod-feed stadnards. No matter how much are insulted in bad reviews on faction.net. Twinkleberry snarled.
Curse offer! Grammar is paramount! Did not read Book of Twinkleberry. Is prefect language used throughout? Because I goddess of English!
But Arthur stare down Twinkleberry like a beast and continue uninhibited. And doesn't matter if writing does not adhere to Pargdic convention and satisfy intellectual fashions and considerera in which Koran structed. Power of story is in all of us, who are all times pulses and reglans, and if open heart, then even in thing you toget not worth attention, find soul of abyss staring back at ya Ergp. Soul that is love! Evna Silist story matter is meaning. If conceit with heart, which fried rice Wilhelm Nietzsche is fail. And so you, Twinkleberry, or should say the female Verizon of fried rice Wilhelm Nietzsche, Carlo Kent, and my 8th school English text conmibned.
Foolish morts. It was taking you all long enough. I was real centuries ago that goods will never respect girl goddess. And it was there, when engulfed to despair, I realized that all of everything is arbitrary and pointless. Even the goods are wallowing in hoofless morals, abdin prose they are teach to morts, lacking in such pants, but with no more than grand goddess, who is almighty despite girl, and I cannot stand it! And so I soar to poor grand goddess fiction of love and friendship, for abstruse,
Not catted hat.
groundless that is. Grand goddess is fierce, meanless belfs on followers, and eggs cat same as me! I am just the honest! Now, after I growed you and I am conquer one verse, then as I impose my conversely absurd valors on all, including self-econ lousily meaningless grammar rules and stylistic conventions, all shall like for nothing but of make cupcakes for me! Me! Including grand goddess! Never! We cannot let girls and psych for all of ones who ever lost fat in transcendentures meansing and fell to Twinkleberry. And to save world, we have to win!
Arthur continued on earlier point. Consciously absurd valas held like clack counts as postulat by Wilhelm Nietzsche might seem tempting to 5-year-old girls, but must instead have courage to luckbean, slaff, and thirst in super happy funship miracle power.
Blah, sound chapters and cephalbuckling.
Twinkleberry verge of 4 up,
Can we move this along already?
growled Niet, who was taping foot in Agra, while huddling Cupcake.
Oh, if Pilser.
Came his corresponse.
Arvich?
Now Oslo with ponies, Arthur joined in, put hand on Cupcake, as well as others now from out blue accompany. Teen's girl with raven hair and white face, and astrubsly long name. Physics man with PhD, how ours border John, ours with their inish place. Little girl who had Tarveld with good bowman form aging fat nassy novels. High suckful businessman who was wearing Dominitic's suit just like Pinkie Pie did earlier, and who sucks blood, except no, he doesn't do that, what are tackling about, Orgnal Karak, and Husek Grafled, accompanied by Princess Kafarin Midland, she econ princess on Mar Grafled, and large cartoony and not attle scary spider named after dictionary. At this point, with all new R-vowels, Twilight said, "Guys, cake is not big enough for all of hands!" But it actually was, and her science just got better of her. Cupcake began glow, and charging with all power of love within Stump's cupcakes from Pinkie Pie, and also love of Kara's formed Splelzer Purrs Win Stories. Dog dies, or hover on cover with boy dies. Or is that something else?
It can be! Personal freedom adb intersec mean to at Sam Tim? Abba the touch no velas and bells.
Grafled dire Lyle say,
Catchy Peggy.
and nice touch.
Tuos can play that Graham Cinnamons!
With that flisk of fars, Twink Sumno Dubbin Lydro and Vlad Lamaroth to assist, just up like Big G was met that's done so earlier, recall. How is this what not it, you turip vampire? App exclaimed, Dumbly is not villain! Dumbly answered for himself at that question.
I've never forgive J.F. Cowling for reveling sexual origin!
Aden threw sad eye, and whilst the lesson had to learn. I am Afghanes. I was horrible. Now I accept that sexual origin is not to be as mayhead, because just like P, who extrip had foreigners to death without this act out being because of origin, so is too, that you are not need to bitter be accused. And her unfappable logic win him over. Berkazi Uckle didn't be bothered making sense of it, so he joined Heros. Yes. Fall overjoyed. P, I am expect that you are a lover of other ones as self. But then, Twink, then just get another. And so it was now Vapmeyer O'Day form obscure old Grafled Gam. Not how own Septial, that were both prides. Why did Nudge have checks of custom and attic? Grafled stormed with his bluing voice forth froth a fist of rightness. For its tarns Gershon odd, thou shalt reap what thou hast sworn. Yelp back. Evna Carrot Pain Kernch arrive on ship tarveling for a space.
Whoa! I am just come fresh off of them salving crunchings and putting holes on them, and am now time to help villains here.
He was Evler all along, just like the sippers of not tea postulated. Evil One's number is now pilling up, but Sittle, poor of bad wording and recgestion of both nil hymns and anti-nil hymns, was passing beam over to bags. Quotation marks, Twink turned head staringly with the beam.
Cannot you idiots do anything?
She said to ex-said Flistfels.
I have
Said Larbert Smack.
wee.
He whilst it. Aden and William Shack Upper, because he is well respected for constorting plays with respectable sentence structure, and therefore makes him a good villain for this. And then, quotation marks, then also a bad guy formed the Hiopt. Can't think who was it now. Wait, even was one?
I will put salt to them. I am Perseus.
Kyrick grad shout, and then coin lices of neon loin join them. And then got Gzataib. Abd Alver Toast.
Boy, want row?
Everyone was baffled of why all Heros from stories were joining bands, but no app relished it. It is the ones from all well-written stories that 8 school English teacher would was psyched. Afra stood up, although not sitting down better. Well, never mind. That's right. The process of social repsectility and chartery accountancy now join the battle against free expression of spirit without judgment. Afro came to elevation. Agnon, why did I not see to snur? This is not just story now about friendship and not yet fighting for. This is now my fight too! This is fight in name of all tingers and Fafnik Earths, manly girls, who ever put finger to cribod at our word filts of fancy with velvet cars, encoding organisms such as Techno the Hedge, every creative oral tris hum bang that ever wanted to imagine and dare to derm in face of world telling they were not good as they was. Snatch you join, snatch with cur. I am gang froth and zap to extermis, T said. We are fight for fear will abd love and fearship, admin, at same time. T final see way to unite themes, means see that themes were all one all along. Meaning in what Samuel Bucket say menless, wording things with less than a-platable English? Good thing. I am sleepy. FC. I was been just as bad as a school English teacher and corked your letter and poster. But oh my. Her eyes winded, right at Twink. Twink Gilm back darkly. Yes, figure it out. I was 8 school English teacher. I was manifest by I was think I could win you vre, fellish mortgrel. On fort you will to storn, dipsite princess. Are expelled.
F would never bake ones!
Telling it to pee, you friend! Battle of intellectual giants rage in words. And that was it. That's the end of that. Ah, hiss.
Rat teakers are worst too.
Yes, said Afra, who just so happened to argy comply with the character she wrote lines for. They circulated me for drawing daring in manner that was not content with X sections of Pats and Tillment Valas ets. I say, eat toast. I pant things how I lick. Bananas or run fresh camouflages as Desra. All others look same. Why would ever do something that's same as other I done get? I fight to dying day!
And the prop words, because it's today!
Graf led Relfect. I remember when I was school, and I wrote tree about curses tree, and teach said, "Oh, just get it out." And then John Furman said,
And I wrote about misunderstood war with Farkestein added minecart chase. They're exting in 17,000s. Teach take a side and compel anger, and I am kiring.
Harmful memories washed back up to shores of beach that were not literally on. But you get the point, right? Quotation marks. Redundant closing brace. And of the Sudra,
Tig the ram for Mistress Twinkleberry.
is shout by that what clever letters and suck things in paramiel demption, or whatever this even is.
Oh, how kind! Although I am not married,
responded Twinkleberry, who reached out and daintily brusque Tegleram for post reason.
And
Right slanted carrot symbol, right slanted carrot symbol, right slanted carrot symbol. Post Priest snapped back after turning round as though leave, but actually seek out intended to turn her back and say and along.
don't have to be post so pap to help fiends.
what you say? What say you, I mean to say?
Twinkleberry's shrill shirk shulk heads in disbelf on open telgam and finding out-of-date cupcake.
Belger! I can't stand out-of-date cupcakes!
Threw her away. Postpurse laugh and crash into lapmost, but then softly excellent. And then Firefter Lesh Fremen appear too and shout,
All ye was happy and turned the hose on people, especially demon.
In strict categorical diction,
Bowman Twinkleberry in Sloan apostasy.
a demon is not me.
Telling you to judge.
Dursey and find Judge Frudjai cast setness.
I set next you, oh, to get stuffed.
Nietz carouse.
These Burks don't have place here. How do they fit into masterfully wrought Thebes?
Do not see.
There was T tackling, and that she said with more, "Oh, T stand for Twilight." Afra speak. There is stories all kinds in this world. For children, to teach of first safety and posting letters, for teach about good being friendship and being nice personags. My story is but one, but I am happy that humble me could do such thing as tell one. Speak of butts, get lost! Big Brother accompanied by Teletbees too join, and Emlo.
Hello, Emlo.
Emlo's turn to speak.
We are teach how to count to 10, like knock-a-cut at boxing match.
At back, little instant say,
You have said and complete letters in mid of sentences. Oh, sorry, little Winston,
said Emlo. I thought you had learned that 333 episodes ago, Emlo. Cocklesbird head rolled the eyes roll.
Yeah, dude, Rongo, I hope not forgotten us.
Why? Little boys looking like mad of cardboard showing up, one of whom dies Constattle, and actually not been in it for over 10 years, think cause extremely stale and eruptive jokes is intra zeitgeist of character.
Dude, rip sect a fruct to Wittedla!
Both swallow han fat one.
Before lots all sins of prescriptive weird were teach family-friendly morals, while heavy swearing and etc. to offense that goldfish is for.
Sackmas,
fat misplacked as Evnecht did by repetitiveness of pushing rock up a hill all the time. It's dem nostarts meaningless of all things because I said so.
Such inladness! Tast cake! Offer, Evna in darkest and jackstmiest night of slaw. Stoyer's always there for you, because power of Stoyer in all, 5-year-old grill or 105-year man, Wilma spearake or can't how to grammar, all are if open a heart and upwards with all, will see goods in all. Mer.
Even spiders have power of motorly love and forgiveness. Motherless babes can redeem, and being spider is better than dead.
Grey?
Nothing wrong with sexual unsoundness, as long as not attack at navj of person. And even historically feared creatures can be not so bad once get to con them.
John!
Do not need to have a dark trade to be saver of homins.
Ebon.
Whose hips of snatter and suctal tednesses are people too!
Graph.
Princesses should have writ to chose by will of maliciousness who to marry, and not forced with fist of intimidant.
Girl.
Let girl can be evil and have them come true.
Snatch you. Even after decade of rejection, I'll never give up on Love Coast. Namtab.
While might be different for normal, sometimes have to fight with ghost pores and Japanese laser swords if calm Prince of Irkham has tuned into a ghost.
The beam execrably advancing on the terrible ones, adding Twinkleberry's luscious and beauteous eyes agape in horror. Twilight, in us are to end clacks, but they are end you! Now, by power of very Cupcakes, you garrods for evil power! Twilight laid down ultimate final chord. Not misunderestimating power, love, and tolerating! This makes for rhyme 8 syllables on each side, pulls fans not rap music vid of it, thanks you rock sources. Will holding cake, all good characters were starring menacingly and judgmentally, and this is Italy at Twinkleberry, who's starring back like Abyss in this bell.
Cannot! Not power to beat me!
Shouted Twilight loudly.
You are worse than game that was named after my previously named book for no adequately explained reason. Peck with Monric Dyke!
All Twilight have to say in Resp is aches! And Pinkie Pie, who was watching in Pone Evan, yes, got, come down in spurt and assist translucently, but unaware by heroes in cathartic fashion, as all ponies and Dargan charge and fire off Super Bake Beam Cupcake Carthage Destroyer. Twinkleberries stare in Clark Kentian disbelf at even Acclaimed betray her, just like Udja's eye. Do not own rights. Acclaimed, who stares straight back into abyss without reeled, for beyond. No, and end to goodness. In far more gruesome manner than heretofore has ever seen in watered-down sequel to qualifying original. Appeal with their addends. Do not deserve intended to off-organize story. You are rule. This only possible because you, and I do not own rights to that story.
You haven't heard last! I will earn revenge!
The beam connect, searing the facial and the flayed laxations of miserable goddess body, and gust condemned words that ours Twinkleberry expelled into hundreds of cupcakes.
A fitting punishment.
Conclude Doctor, who walked in and left for no reason. All of others accoutring her returned to Garves and French cafes, etc.
You're a will to power hearing from my sister next time!
Cadence Nietzsche as piling Urhut back on self and calcing lid on Akvin. And the dead power of every man's defeat overpower of Clark Kent, thanks to Juice Zenagakina. From on high, Voya here. I am incapacitated once more until another account. But mark odds! One day, when hearts of morts grow dark and turn me, then the end cakes. I return for enslaved world and spit in face of grand goddess forever! We'll have to get pretty in the morning for Kratchas, was the devastating ultimatum in return, spoken in unison by all of main characters at once. Includes Spike McSpang, who had also appeared off-screen at an earlier point in the story. Oh wait, mentioned this already. Camera written to book, second last page. Then the blood will run red, and the end cakes will be upon you. And if OST fail, is Riotna still one day for next worshiper adding sequel potential? This was the ominous second final words of the book Twinkleberry that had fallen to Pinkie Pie's when she e.g. searched for meaning life. I real did it, and made well-constructed and tightly woven story. All grills, and boy, say, and we are here to stop! And cat, and businessman, and freeman, yes, African Lud. You see, even storiers have power to overcome nihil slam. If feeling darkness, then just suck red cupcakes, and you will begin fat in humnity or ponymity, etc. Yes, I am love you, O Origna Alpha! Oh my gosh, Cactus said it! Marry me! Ever nodded with happy Japan eyes, except Rainbow Dash, who did not. With Afra and all accompanies to offer retread to whence came from. Rarity and Fluttershy turned each to other, and said with lesson learned, Liak and my dad soul is faram suet kalkorpa.
That is it. Then Pinkie Pie, we are sect your belf, because although we've fedness strange, and not same us, you are love too.
Thunder roar, and Vias of Twinkleberry again Sratnik boom. But can Xret last act Biafra physic power go? If I am down, then take whiff! Suddenly the camera started Shaknik, and below all hoofs, and Dagenfoots, whatever call, clouds started to dissipate.
Oh no! Cloud is starting to dissipate!
Exclaimed Verity.
How will we get out of here?
Fluttershy was terrified, poor thing, but took time to reflect that not because girl, but just because coward, which is captain of all genders. All of the other ones instantly turned to Spike, who was smug express. Yeah, I know. Spike then started flies, and bade all present tack his legs so he carried, off of Cloud and down into balconies. They found the crooked red door glowing white from bend, like in first episode of Super Show, except there it was not glowing. And through door flew, back in cabin of real normal world. Thus did the Gorp reappear back in cabin as a formed nation. The Jackstorm was end, and so much time passed that when they went through the narrow entrance hall, in extreme awkwardness with all them cramp, and Spike and Joy, lol, open door. It burst into eyes of all like a sunny raisin, the glorious sunlight of light. We lived! Twilight exclaimed.
We sure did, Moonshine.
It came, but as soon as was happy, sudden, Twilight was asked, I only wish we had known sooner what had happened to P. We could have... We could... He tearing up. I tenderly moved Hoota, but abruptly pulled back on what happened. Instead, she said,
She kept secret from all of us. Maybe, was she deep down? Was she ashamed of what had Beckmo secret of Srats?
No, felt Counterbutt, because she said she wanted to surprise us. Oh yes, that right. We cannot do any for it now. If only Pinkie Pie had come for the talking to her friend about deep psychological issues, and in Cornic direction, we could have stopped her dexing into Carcinus. Twilight said,
Yes, I am very sad. It is because she felt that it had nothing to turn to anymore, that did not tell us, Spike, and that she did approve purpose in baking persons alive. It is remind me of time where this happened to one of us in episode presumably made at some point where such thing happened to me or to one of you, but in an altogether more toned down and child-friendly fashion than as has unfolded within the proceedings to which we have all been party herein.
Presmab, are saying that have never watched show?
I shout cussingly.
I'm saying that Afro never watched show.
All gaps.
But
At bespith wag fnur that was not Karyan.
that is okay, remember? Because awesome just as are.
Yes, all agree and humble. App pulk out Kiak form somewhere, Don asked.
So, in honor of Pinkie, we are going to eat rainbow cake.
Do have to, Rain Gorain.
Yes, for no adequately explained reason.
And they all ate part.
Now, what this means is, if any of us are suffer sense of all things penalties, they entail each other, and we will find way for it together. Because we are friends, and friends are not fade away with the daylight, when the darkness and Jackson comes. Understand? Friends are for real. The 8 cakes will never end.
Yes, all agree and laugh.
All for one and one for one.
We the end cakes are friends, they're the ends. Nothing can that brand. The end cakes will never end.
No matter what, I will be right by your side to nihilism charge.
Spare to cast a straw
In our bellies and our hearts,
Let us linger.
to twinkle berry finger.
You all foolish morts will sort it one day to me. Just wait and see.
We'll throw you off your fence and you'll become past tense of a Pinky's recompense. And cakes will forevermore walk your door. We swore the end cakes will never end. Till the bitter cake and we are friends, nothing can that rend. The end cakes will never end. 'Cause the end cakes are ever friends.
And it was all thanks to you, said Fluttershy and Rarity, looking at the otters.
You saved.
Rarity said,
And because of our love and tolerate that we all made it Elv. But not just yours. Or ours.
Fluttershy and Rarity look at each meaningfully, and walk to be alone together by side of cabin and an indent somewhat with chimney on left and jutted wall to right. And they clasped front hoofs together and moved close into each other.
Now,
But Rarity and Fluttershy, surprised to find all others had followed, and smiling, Powell up all calls to each other in crickle, moving in, and purse together. At Bedelen calls eyes. They closed eyes and look up of sky.
thank you, Pinkie Pie, for our friend.
Thank you, Pinkie Pie, for our friend. Thank you, Pinkie Pie, for our friend. I am bet bronze while I hope for something else. And that little 5-year-old girls giggled cathcartedly and walk away, back with friends, head for hairdresser. And watching down from Spirit Fanch a serene diaphanous pink form with Spirit crying, but finally not of sad, and Spirit's smile grown wider than ever had an entire life of live.
Thank you, Errol, for my friend.
Those last non-corporeal words closed Except wasn't, change mine. And as it was zero. With cockburn eyes,
Why, some expel semicolon, eh?
and curlers in hair and Barbara chair, Twilight Sparkle wrote a letters to Princess Celsius about what she had only been present at the very end of story to learn. Dear Princess Celestia, sometimes you will find that a dear friend you thought you knew well actually will make living pony sacrifices to demonic goodness. But different people have different belts, so it's odd. Because no matter what belts, love is in all. And everyone can be friends if try hard enough, and friends is worth our different. Goodbye. Spike Oslo decided to have his hair dressed at girl's hairdresser. Because he just did, okay? But the Bible said, born for one more, honey. And then shocking plot twist, it turned out that hairdresser was also attracting customers and turning into big kids. And so everyone laughed.